Since the appreciation package got released for Outriders, I have seen several different outcomes of the patch. Alongside the appreciation package, there were a handful of buffs for player skills. However, I have heard they haven't been implemented properly. Alongside the skills, there were also buffs to the health stats on pieces of gear. I have seen a very, very wide range of different sort of feedback regarding what's actually happened since this update. And I would like to just point out that I've been keeping an eye on Steam charts, and granted is not the console community. However, the game has been struggling to hit 5k concurrent players in a 24-hour window. And this update, which gave players stuff and buffed players with the stuff they currently have, has not really brought anyone back into the game. So is there any comeback for this game? Probably not. It's probably just going to continue to go downhill, or it might maintain itself around, I don't know, maybe 2,000 players or something like that concurrently on Steam. Because the same day as the patch being released, the concurrent players did dip back below 2,000 players. And as I said, they buffed stuff, no nerfs, and they released an appreciation package. So that appreciation package itself, was it acceptable how they implemented this appreciation package? Absolutely not. The reason I say that is because when they announced it, they said out of the 46 legendary weapons available in the game, players will receive one that they have not yet obtained, and it will come God rolled. The community have been trying to figure out exactly what that meant, and players have based that on, they didn't necessarily mean weapons, they meant mods. So if you didn't have a tier 3 mod from a specific weapon, you had a chance of getting that one too. But I've seen a lot of people say they have received legendary weapons from this package that they already have the mods for. Somebody also said that I actually had a Reaper with like 81k firepower, so I had never obtained a God-rolled version of the Reaper, meaning that they still stuck to their word of giving something that was not yet obtained in terms of the God roll itself. It was a very vague sort of explanation as to what was going to be awarded, in terms of them just saying you'll get one of the 46 legendary weapons God rolled that you have not yet obtained. So taking that as it reads on the image they shared, we should have got a legendary weapon, regardless of mods, regardless of firepower or anything like that we have never ever obtained. But alongside players not getting anything, players getting things they've already had, and also players getting things like snipers when they play as a Devastator, which makes no sense because you're a close range tank. We also have the complete other end of the spectrum, and some players have been awarded maybe 10 to 20 legendaries that are all God rolled. Weapons and gear. And credit for that image goes to Scott on Twitter. Thank you for sharing that with me. Now, some people were going to argue saying that's not possible. That's probably because they haven't logged in since the inventory restoration. But one thing you need to be aware of is they actually used the exact same system from the inventory restoration as they did with the appreciation package. The only thing they did was changed how it worked in terms of awarding a weapon that was supposed to have never dropped for the player before. A lot of people in this game have several characters, and on my live stream I just thought it was the first character you logged into. But if you haven't found a weapon, then check the character you have spent the most time with, because it's apparently going to be awarded to the character that you have the most experience in the game with. However, I think a lot of you would have checked all of your characters, and that goes for the people saying they've received nothing. I even logged into my PC character because there's supposed to be an emote and a handful of titanium, which isn't even enough to, if you're a level 30 character with level 50 gear, it's not even enough to craft something at that level to level it up to that level sort of thing. But the appreciation package, one legendary weapon, an emote, titanium. I logged into my PC character, it's the gameplay you're seeing in the background. I simply got a legendary weapon that was God rolled, Heir to the Desert. I don't know if I got titanium because I'm at 1 million due to cheating on PC. But in terms of the emote, I never received it. And that is not a complaint, that's just me adding to the range of where they've messed up with this. So it's not acceptable how they implemented this at all. From the moment they announced it, they took 9 weeks to implement this appreciation package. They used the same system as the inventory restoration, and they still really badly messed it up, so it's not acceptable. But in my opinion, what they could have done differently to make it acceptable, and it also possibly would have brought a few players back, is if they would have made a completely brand new legendary weapon to give to everyone evenly, that would have had good stats and that come with unique mods. That would have been one way they could have done it, and it possibly would have been easier than writing loads of new coding to get the system to award a random legendary based on something you've not yet obtained. Or they could have done another thing, which would have made a lot of players happy, and that would have been to put a list on the screen when the package is awarded and let you pick your own legendary. For the amount of issues players have gone through over the last 2.5 months plus, I say plus because of the demo having the inventory wipe issue as well, to award one legendary for an appreciation package that took 9 weeks to implement from the day they announced it was not acceptable. They should have at least given one weapon that was completely unique to that player, and also should have given a minimum, in my opinion, of 3 legendary pieces of armor to make up a set where you can activate the buff. So where you use 3 pieces and your set bonus becomes active, they should have given at least 3. Or they could have given an entire legendary set. I think that would have made things better. I'm not going to put an exact sort of amount of weapons and gear pieces to make this acceptable. I just think they needed to do more than what they did. They took a very easy, lazy sort of approach to it that still failed. And now players just have to put up with what's happened. If you haven't received anything from this package, you're never going to get anything from the package. This was a one-off update, exactly the same as the inventory restoration, and that even affected players to them not getting their characters back. And this will 100% not bring players back. It definitely shouldn't bring players back in any sort of time frame because of how badly it was introduced. Another thing is, they said they have an upcoming patch supposedly releasing next week. However, they have said they will confirm things in the future. They haven't even given a rough sort of time as to when they will confirm things or say it needs to have extra time and be delayed a little bit. We don't know exactly what they're working on. However, they have said the legendary drop rates themselves will be looked into and something will be done. And I think if they do a good enough job with that, which is a very big question to ask them, to actually do something good about it, if they do, it could bring some players back. However, if they mess it up, legendary drop rates are worse, or they feel the same, then it's just going to push more people away from the game. So in my opinion, to wrap the video up, I do not think it was acceptable at all how they implemented this appreciation package. I feel they should have done way more to show appreciation for the community, and I feel they could have done things a lot differently to how they did. But what we're going to do is wrap the video up there. Let me know your thoughts and stuff in the comments, and I'll see you in the next one. I hope you guys enjoyed it.